world tomorrow, finances, work commitments, all the rest didn't matter, where would you be?
Absolutely right where I am.
Yeah.
I came back from 3.5 weeks in the US a couple of months ago, and after seeing and experiencing all that, it made me realise just how blessed I am to be who I am, where I am, and doing what I am.
Yeah, certainly international travel can do that. And when you say where you are, Albury Wodonga, the particular region,
we're in the best place in the world.
So I found a really cool thing and a really great word called gratitude. And gratitude broken down is great attitude. And attitudes are contagious. And one of my mentors one day said, "Is yours worth catching?" So, I worked on making sure that I have an attitude that's worth catching.
Well, first of all, I think you've got to have an element of self-motivation. There's no doubt about that. And when we look at recruiting, or when we look at the type of people we want to come to your footy club, we want quality. We want quality of person over and above anything else. So you can be a great footy player, but not have that honesty as an individual. So, if you've got that and you're a quality person, then I tend to think that you'll be self-motivated anyway. So from a coaching perspective, that makes that a lot easier. And then when you bring a group of self-motivated individuals or footy players together, they can then raise that bar, and they challenge each other and all those kind of things, and then that's just a really good recipe for success.
One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my personal life was to ask for help. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my business life was to ask for help. And I had to do both of them at age 32 when my wife left. I didn't know how to wash my clothes, she did that. My mate Keith come out, he said, "I'll help you." Well, all my kids' clothes turned into dolls' clothes. They all shrunk and everything, but anyway, hopeless. I had to learn to cook sausages. I was a hopeless cook. My kids were so happy when I got remarried.
I want to be known as someone that changed the industry on the border, absolutely. I'll continue to work with the local TAFEs and trying to promote the industry to get more apprentices, and it's struggling a little bit, to be honest. So whatever I can do to improve that is quite important to me. I feel like local people and kids don't have to leave the area anymore to learn good stuff. Like I had to leave, there was nothing. Once I leave, and eventually when I leave, I'd love to be known as that person that changed the food scene in Albury Wodonga, or own the food scene, or I want to be the best. Obviously, I want my family to be the best and continue to be the best.
And as soon as I started in a school, I just thought, this is so awesome. I want to be in the top 5% of all teachers ever, because, if you're going to devote yourself to something, why wouldn't you be the best that you can be? And then, even more powerful, how cool would it be to be in a position where you can make decisions that make the whole thing run amazingly well?
Full-time in business. He said you give the best of yourself to perfect strangers every day, and you take home what's left to the ones who matter the most. And you do, and you've got to in business. You've got to give those people time, or you just don't get the deals and you don't get things happening. But it's nice to be in a place now where we've paid the farm off down to where we can hold our own with what we owe and stay here. I can work here. I don't have to go into town now. And I get to see my kids every day. We ride nearly every night. So I've got the balance right now. But it takes hard work to be able to get to a point to get the balance right.
I mean, I was never one of the big time players or on these big dollars they're on now, but it was a very comfortable wage, but it was something that I didn't really know how to deal with, if I'm completely honest. Like I mentioned, I wasn't on big money before I debuted. Plenty of times after games I'd be asking the old man or mum if there was a couple of $100 to go out for a night on the town or whatever, so it was pretty tough early on. And then as you come into grade, I mean, your performance usually speaks for itself, and you earn that money by the way you perform on the field and your attitude at training and all that kind of stuff. But in hindsight, I know they're great now. They teach players about how to handle their money and be a bit smarter with it. Whether you could have told me that as a 21-year-old what to do with my money, I'm not too sure. I was pretty stubborn, still am, but with all that money, there's a lot of distractions that come with it and a lot of opportunity to go out and have some good times, which I did. I don't regret anything that I did, but I definitely could have been a bit smarter with the money that I earned.
So then I looked then further and I was able to identify 3 areas that probably influenced my thinking time. I call them the 3 M's of survival.
Yeah.
There's the management and the marketing and the motivation. And also, I add to that medication.
To keep it going later in life.
Driving to work from Beechworth, which is an absolute pleasure every morning because you see something different. With a beautiful drive from Beechworth to Wodonga, and the sky changes, the leaves change, the animals in the paddocks have different facial expressions on. The road workers with the stop-go signs. It's all those things, and instead of belting along, going, okay, I've got to do this, then I've got to do that, and then at 10 o'clock I'm doing this, and then 4 o'clock I've got to meet the boys over at the radio station, and we're going to do that. Instead of that, just be in the moment. Enjoy what's there right now. And I tell you what, that form of mindfulness is very, very good for you because when you get to your destination, when you arrive there, you feel refreshed.
Being a new business, we had no money for advertising, and up until 18 months ago, I never had an Instagram or Facebook account. But you're hearing all the stories of people's success around the country. We really looked at that avenue to promote our brands. We opened up a Instagram account and a Facebook account under Posh Plonk, and started to get some really good images of our bottles. And being so different, we started to get quite a good following, not just locally but nationally, where we're starting to see a huge market in the corporate gifting space. And we set up Posh Plonk to stand out on shelves in restaurants and wine bars and boutique bottle shops, but then all of a sudden real estate agents and gifting organisations from all over Australia are reaching out to use Posh Plonk because of the way it looks.
You seem as a very optimistic person. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
Worst thing?
Is it meningococcal?
Oh, God, no. No, absolutely not. A lot of people obviously say, gee, I'm really sorry that happened. And I said, don't be sorry. This has given me this amazing life that I've had so far and is going to continue to. Look, at the same time, I do kind of laugh sometimes because, I'm passionate about people not obviously contracting meningococcal disease, but yet I'm kind of saying how awesome my life is and, how blessed I've been. But, at the same time, I don't want people to have to experience the shit times either, where it's physically so painful to walk, where, my legs are like, there's 30 grand worth of legs there, without even blinking. I don't want people to be burdened financially by needing to have prosthetics or care in some situations for the rest of their lives. I want to stop that happening. But, I always look to think that, my glass is, more than half full, 3/4 full.
Steve Bowen, I'm going to make sure Travis is handy on the camera for this one, because I'm now going to say thank you so much for your time, and I believe it would only be appropriate if we end shaking left-handed for this particular video. So, Tom O'Toole, it's been wonderful to speak to you today. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. You can bloody talk. God. Jeez. You're a bloody clown. Why didn't you pull this guy up?
John Howard here, former Prime Minister of Australia and Great Australia. Look, I wanted to ask you all, as Australians, or Burien and Wodonganians, if I could use that expression, to tune in to The Journey on 2AY with Kev Polton and John Walker. They'll be discussing all sorts of issues, including tax reform and the important role that GST plays in the lives of everyday Australians. I thoroughly recommend to you the Journey program with Kev. Yeah. Well, how was that? Is it all right?